Welcome to Movie Monday, where every Monday I tell you a movie you need to watch and sometimes not. Today we're talking about Caught Stealing. You know, that new Darren Aronofsky movie that has Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith with like a mohawk, there's a cat in it. And yes, these posters were given out to the people who were watching the movie the day that I saw the movie, so you know, wanted to put it in the video somewhere. It just came out, it's an hour and 47 minutes long, and it's categorized as a crime comedy. And honestly, I would say that Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, and Matt Smith are like our three leading ladies, but there are for sure a lot of people in this movie, so I would highly recommend looking up the entire cast list if you want to get like a full scope. But if you're more into that behind the scenes information like ratings, writers, directors, producers, that should all be on the screen now as well. Going into this, I want to say that I have only seen I guess now 4 of Darren Aronofsky's movies. I hope I'm saying this correctly the whole time, bear with me. But the 3 that I've seen before this, well, I guess now with Caught Stealing, but before that, the 3 that I had seen were Mother, The Whale, and Black Swan. And funnily enough, I had just seen Black Swan like a day or so before Caught Stealing because the 15th anniversary screening was going on. They were also giving out posters. But that was the first time that I had seen that movie. And without putting Caught Stealing in the ranking, I would say out of those 3 movies, I ranked them Mother, Black Swan, and then The Whale. Alright, we're done talking about that. Let's dive into Caught Stealing. At its core, I think Caught Stealing is a chase movie, but it's not about like high-speed car chases or stunts, but it's more about following this guy named Hank, Austin Butler's character, who unfortunately is just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Basically, without spoiling a whole bunch of it, Austin Butler's character, Hank, is doing a favor for Matt Smith's character, Russ, because Russ's father passed away. But because Russ's father passed away, he is so consumed with grief that he forgets something very important, and that mistake 100% falls squarely on Hank's shoulders. And from that point forward, Hank's life kind of just spirals, and we're kind of just strapped in watching him trying to navigate through this nightmare that he never even asked to be a part of. The setup seems pretty straightforward, which kind of goes against the whole Aronofsky of it all. I feel like normally he thrives on like psychological intensity, like think Black Swan's obsession with perfection, and Mother's layers of allegory, or The Whale's like emotional weight. But here it's a little more stripped down, I guess. I wouldn't say there's a whole bunch of hidden meanings or like super heavy symbolism. It's a very straightforward, oh gosh, is this guy gonna make it out of it kind of story. That being said, I do think we do get some glimpses of that Aronofsky style in terms of like claustrophobic tension. There's for sure some claustrophobic tension in this. You almost feel like trapped with Hank, and I feel like maybe those moments feel more Aronofsky, but I don't know. I would say though, overall, this has got to be the most different movie that I've seen, at least from him, out of the whole bunch. Let's talk about some of these performances, because honestly, this cast absolutely elevates the movie. Starting with Austin Butler as Hank. He was great. He is so believable in this role. You absolutely buy into his desperation and his heart and his resilience. And this is such a different role for him compared to like Elvis or Dune Part 2. He isn't really like flashy here. It's definitely more grounded and trying to like survive. Next, I want to mention Zoe Kravitz as Yvonne. She is also fantastic. Her chemistry with Austin Butler was literally insane, but maybe at this point, Zoe Kravitz could have chemistry with a wall. She is just... that's all I'm gonna say. Anytime they were on screen together, I absolutely bought it and I loved it, and it was everything. And we definitely can't talk about the performances in this movie without mentioning Matt Smith's character, Russ. Oh my gosh, he was so good. I totally was like, what? Wait, who? Is that him? He definitely doesn't have the same spotlight as Austin Butler's character, but he for sure really shines in his lane. There was definitely a few times while I was watching the movie that I was looking at him and I'm like, you look familiar. I wonder who you are. I know, but I don't know, you know? Like, how is this? This? What? Russ easily could have been a throwaway character, but I really do feel like Matt Smith made him so lived in and memorable. And this is where the movie kind of surprises me with its tone and its style, especially going into this knowing it's Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky. That sounds like it could be like a super dopey. Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky. Okay, I'm done. It's labeled, and I'm pretty sure it was marketed as a crime comedy, and it for sure fits in that lane perfectly. There is plenty of crime, guns, danger, illegal deals, but it's for sure balanced with this really healthy dose of humor. You're never drowning in tension, and that comedic relief feels more approachable than I feel like the typical Aronofsky film. The best comparison I can give, and yes, I have been trying to think of a good comparison here, is Baby Driver. Not because of the non-stop car chases, but more because of the energy. You've got a main character who somehow ends up driving for illegal purposes, trapped in a world he never wanted to be a part of, trying to escape a life he doesn't belong in. The blend of serious stakes with bursts of fun, music, and energy definitely make these movies feel like cousins. Cinematography-wise, this movie feels pretty straightforward. It's not Aronofsky's usual surreal visuals, but I feel like that works here. And I feel like the sound design supports the chaos, the pacing keeps you engaged, but it never like overdoes it. Here's where I feel like the film really diverges from Aronofsky's past work. I feel like his films are usually trying to say something fairly big about so many different things. Art, obsession, faith, grief. Caught Stealing doesn't chase allegory in the same way, but there's for sure a message if you're looking for it. For me, the theme is about confronting what scares you and overcoming the trauma that's been holding you back. It's about being thrown into the fire and having no choice but to face your own fears. And there's something really human about that, even if it's wrapped up in a crime comedy. On a lighter note though, I have to mention that cat. I'm not going to say too much about the cat because I really want you to watch this film and to get all of the cat for yourself, but the cat. Sometimes it's those little quirky touches or choices that really stick with you after the credits roll. I really like the pacing. There aren't too many slow patches. The movie definitely keeps going. Every beat kind of feels earned. The craziest thing about this whole thing though is that this is Aronofsky. Like, if I went into this not knowing that, I would have never guessed in a kabillion years that was this, him was this, what? But he definitely nailed it. So who is this movie for? Honestly, I'd recommend it to Austin Butler fans, and of course people who loved Baby Driver, or I guess anyone who's into thrillers or don't take themselves super seriously. Would I rewatch it? Probably, yeah. Especially with someone who hasn't seen it, because I definitely feel like part of the fun is watching someone react to everything that Hank is going through. R.I.P. Hank. It definitely has that this is fun to share with a friend vibe. Now, in terms of ranking all of the Aronofsky films now, I do think Caught Stealing is at the bottom for me personally. Not because it's bad, not because I didn't enjoy it. This whole time I've been trying to very much so say that I did really enjoy this movie. And it's only at the bottom because I just naturally prefer the more psychological, what the heck, serious, deep, what in the world is happening than what we got. And again, that definitely does not make this bad though. I definitely took this as him trying to do something different, and I definitely think he pulled it off. Overall, I gave Caught Stealing a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's wild, it's entertaining, and it shows you that Aronofsky can really step out of his wheelhouse while still delivering something that's fun and super solid. It's not his deepest movie, but it doesn't need to be. Sometimes it's just about enjoying the ride, and Caught Stealing definitely delivers that. I know I definitely walked out of the theater thinking, wow, that was crazy, but I honestly had a blast. If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a like. It definitely helps this channel out. And I would honestly love to know in the comments if you've seen this movie as well, or if you're now potentially planning on seeing it. And if you like this face, you like this kind of content, maybe consider subscribing. I do try to make movie Mondays on Movie Mondays if possible. I'm gonna be so real, I really don't know what to say, but I hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Darren Aronofsky, Darren Aronofsky, Darren Aronofsky, Darren.